All right. It looks like the stream has started. Let me make sure. Yeah, we're good to go. Okay, perfect. So the stream has started. I did finally figure out how to schedule streams. Not that it matters. I do have subscribers now, which is nice. I think I have 34 subscribers, so maybe someone will see that and watch this because this is really what I'm into. And the good thing is, all my subscribers came from videos like this where I just kind of cut up things I was streaming. So hopefully that'll continue. But let's jump right into it. Let's take a look at what I'm working on here. So basically, let me actually move myself out of the way. I don't want to block what I'm writing there. Okay, so basically, what we have here is, I was working on this Harry Potter Hogwarts Adventure AI game where we're going to do a choose your own adventure game. I already have the AI working. I actually need to pull that up. Let me see. So you go to the OpenAI platform, the playground. You go to the assistants, and then you can just choose your assistant. Okay, so I was actually playing around with this, and this worked really, really well. I had a little bit of video of that in there. So this is fine. I'm pretty positive that's gonna work once we connect it. Now, something I mentioned in the first video is, for some reason, whenever I try to connect the ChatGPT assistants, it gives me these issues. I'm not sure why. Something occurred to me because I just found out about ChatGPT projects. But I'm probably not going to start that today. So we're already doing this. Let's just try the assistant. I also like the assistant. I can edit the temperature and things like that. But let's just play around and see what's going on. Real quick, I'm going to catch you up on what's wrong, what I'm doing, what we need to do. And before we go into that, I just want to mention you can't really edit or test things out in here properly, because if I try to start a new adventure in here, it's going to give me an error where it lets me do it out here. Okay, so I don't know. There's like some kind of issue with API connections in this little viewer. So don't worry about that. Now, the issue we ran into was it's just not connecting to the assistants. Okay, now I could keep trying to force it, but in my experience, it's not going to get it. And so I have a backup for when vo.dev doesn't get it, when the AI doesn't understand. I will then go to ChatGPT and start actually giving it the code for ChatGPT to write over. So I now have this error. Let me go ahead and just recreate the error. So I'm going to start an adventure, create one. So the interesting thing is it's actually going to save it. And so, okay, we got this error. So I just explain, okay. Okay, so I say, I'm still getting this error. And then also when let me refresh and I'll show you. Unfortunately, it's not updating immediately, but there it is, 5. If I hit resume on this, it's not pulling anything up. It just loads forever. And so let me also mention this. Okay, it creates the adventure, but let's see, in the database. Try to load it up. It just shows me the loading animation forever. Don't try to fix this. Instead, what files are involved? Okay, so we're going to get these files. We're going to then copy and paste it into O3 and have O3 actually analyze it and write code to fix it. So I want another AI to actually take a look and see what could be going wrong, because VO makes these silly errors and sometimes it gets stuck. I'm not sure if it just doesn't have access to information. I'm not sure if we need to pass it a knowledge base or something like that, but that's just what happens. So I'm going to try to fix it that way. Let's see. Given the game is creating a database where you're stuck on loading when trying to resume, and you're still seeing a thread ID error, here are the key file components. Okay, so we have dashboard. Okay. Okay, hold on, let's take a look. So we have page content, page, game page content. Okay. Use Supabase realtime. I don't think we even need that one, but sure. Route. Okay, there's actually a bunch that are in here. Okay. Let's see. Can you write a prompt for another AI that will be reviewing these files and fixing this error? Perfect. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Interesting. Whatever, this critical present files. Okay, and said prepare. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to chat. We're gonna paste all this in, okay? Then we're just gonna add in all the files that they recommended. I'm gonna move this over, or I'm actually just gonna duplicate it so I can see it on this screen, and then I can just easily copy and paste these files over. Okay, so let's see, we have components, dashboard. You know what, I should look over here because the screen's smaller. Okay. Okay, so we have dashboard page content. We're gonna paste that in. Next, we're gonna get app game page. Where is that? App game ID page. The simple wrapper that uses with auth. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Paste that in. And then game page content. Paste that in. Okay. And then we're gonna get, let's see, use Supabase realtime and hooks. Where's the hook? What is it? Use Supabase realtime. Oh, here it is. And then we're gonna get the API turn route. Wait a second. API turn route. Only see API session. I don't see API turn route. Oh, likely exists or need to exist, not let provided. Handle choice selection. Okay, we don't have that. OpenAI service TS. You know what? I'm wondering if I'm giving it way too much information. It's not actually going to fix it because it's just complicating the whole thing. But that's okay. So let me go to database, and then we're going to copy the SQL, and then we're going to give it the SQL too. Wait a second. That's not right. Oh. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what O3 says. Okay, so we're giving O3 all of this data, all this information. Again, letting this all be led by AI. The AI is creating the prompt to try to fix it. So let's see what happens. My goal is for O3 here to create some code that I can just copy and paste right in there to fix this issue. And then we can move on to do other things and keep building it, which is really the fun part, and that's what this is all about, is actually building some really cool stuff. So let's see. Okay. Okay, there are 3 different named columns in game sessions that can hold the same value. Not great. Okay. Yep, that is not good. During this session creation, the API route saves the value only in OpenAI. So they were doing it. It was just doing it wrong, looks like. Okay. Okay, fix minimal code. Wait a second. This is saying... Okay, so again, I'm going to have it write the code so I just don't have to copy and paste. I mean, I could probably find out the line that it's on. Let me see. Let me see this real quick. This is in turn route TS. You know what? I'm going to do it on the other screen. So I'm just going to copy this and go to turn route. Let's see what this is. Wait, this still doesn't have the turn route. This doesn't have the turn route. Okay. Write the code files in their entirety. Can copy and paste them in. And then migrate the data so there's just one column. Okay. So I can do that too. Let's do that. Start a new game, confirm the row, refresh, bonus improvement. So the field is centralized. Well, see, that's the kind of thing that I want. See, so that's also a reason why I don't want to just go in and edit the code, because it could literally just redo a bunch of things and fix it. Well, let's go here. Let's go to SQL while it's doing that. And we're just going to copy and paste what they gave us, and fingers crossed, it's going to drop these two, and it's going to create, it's just going to use the OpenAI thread ID. Let's see how that works. All right, perfect. So that was successful. So if we go to the table, there's OpenAI thread ID right there. Okay, so let's see what happens. By the way, we're going to delete these other games. We don't need these. You can go in here in the database and just delete them entirely. You don't have to worry about it. It's so easy to use Supabase. Again, I'm not a backend dev. I'm just learning way more about backend now thanks to AI. And the thing I didn't even show you yet is they have their own AI assistant that you can talk to. So if you get stuck in Supabase, you can also talk to the AI database. So I talk to this one sometimes also if I run into any kind of errors that chat isn't able to really solve, but I haven't had any major issues with that yet. Oh, this game is messed up. Let's refresh. Okay. Yep, so there's no saved adventures. That's good. That's how it should be. And then let's see. Okay, here we go. So, how many files did they give me? Hogwarts Adventure Fix. Oh, okay, they're giving me all of them. Okay, so, let's see. Okay, so they want me to create a new one. Again, I'm going to do that over here just to make it easier. So, Hogwarts Adventures, let's call it thread id.ts. So we're going to do that. Do we have a lib? Okay, we have a lib. And now let me do right click, and we're going to do utils because there's no utilities yet. New folder, utils, create, and then right click on the folder, and then new file. And we're going to do git thread id.ts. And then we're just going to copy and paste all this in. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Okay. Returns the first. Okay, that's fine. So both of these utilities are in there. Okay. That should be fine. And then the next one is file for turn route.ts. Now, I don't even think we even have this. So let's do this. So we have app API turn. Okay, so we have API. We do not have turn. So I'm going to create a new folder. Call it turn. Inside of turn, I'm going to create a new file called route.ts. And then I'm just going to copy and paste all of this. I don't know how this turn is going to work, but okay. That's all that it needed to fix, huh? Okay. Let's see if this is accurate. Let me refresh this to make sure my stuff's in there because I did it on the other one. So I'm going to go to the code here. Here's turn route. And here's the utils that I created. Or rather, just copied and pasted in. So let's publish it. Let's deploy those changes. See what happens. Okay. Okay. So yeah, at this point, I'm really just relying on chat to try to figure it out since VO struggles with this one thing. And again, I think what's happening is, I think that, okay, so basically it doesn't seem to have enough of an understanding of the open AI platforms like APIs in order to actually solve it. That seems to happen a lot. So when you're doing AI, you really want to focus on having a really solid knowledge base. A lot of people call it RAG. I forget what the acronym stands for, but you're basically having it focus on certain things. So for example, in this playground here with my assistant, right, I have all of these files. And all of these files are here to basically just be all Harry Potter stuff, right? So it's hyper-focusing on those. Then I give it a prompt, which it hyper-focuses even more on the prompt, first references the files, and then will reference its own general knowledge database. And so you're able to really hyper-focus it in one area like this. All right, so let's see. Okay, it redeployed, fingers crossed. Okay, let's stay on network here. Close this. Create a new game. Create. Pending. Still pending. No. Thread ID undefined. Okay, so let's pull this up. Okay, yep. Okay, so we're going to go to chat again. I'm going to say I'm still getting this error. And I'm going to give it the payload. Here's the payload, which is just what we're passing. And then, is there anything else? I don't know. Wait a second. Okay. Hold on. Connecting with OpenAI's assistant. I gave it. Okay, let's give it a little bit more context here just to make sure it's not missing something. And let's see what it says. Let's close this out. So it might not have had enough context even with what it was provided. Curious what it's going to say. Okay. So it's trying to rewrite the code. Okay. It is rewriting the code. Okay. What was its response to this? New session creation is now handled by API session route. File I just added, and it writes the thread to the OpenAI before the OpenAI call. And replace the existing file with the updated version. Okay. So, the file isn't done. Okay, so this one, let's see what it's doing. It might recreate all of it. Okay, so here we have, yep, session route.ts, which by the way, I think there's like 2 of those in there. So, oh, there's sessions and sessions. So we're gonna, yeah, copy and paste over that. Okay, so we're gonna, I think this one's probably the same. Just copy this whole thing. And then we're gonna put this in the utils. And then I'm going to go here. Wait a second. Okay. That's fine. And that's the turn route. It's still not, why aren't you finishing? Okay, well, for whatever reason, it's not finishing. So I'm just going to do, this one is just for session. So we're going to go and replace this in session, save it. And for whatever reason, it's not finishing. Okay, let's ask it to finish it. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not saving. So I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. If I refresh, it did save, so we created one. Yeah, I'm just going to delete it. There's no point. No, you're not understanding. Oh, wait, maybe it did. Let me see. Edit. Answer in chat instead. Okay, cool. They're doing image generation and everything. There we go. Why are we not completing it before? Okay. API turn route. Okay. Okay, so now we changed a few files. Let's deploy the changes. Fingers crossed this time that it's solved. But again, that's kind of what happens when you're coding like this. I mean, to be honest with you, just when you're actually coding your own stuff as well, this is very common where things just don't work. You know, so I don't really see this as a major criticism because a lot of times you're running something, you're like, why the heck isn't it working? And you might be stuck for hours, actually. That's happened to me. I don't even know how many times. Hundreds, thousands of times where you just get stuck on something. And sometimes you're working on something trying to solve a bug for like 4 hours. You just got to sleep on it, you know? So that happens as well. You know, you just get so stuck. It's just so frustrating. You know, you go from the emotion of like anger, and then you're just like, all right, when you finally get to the end after like an hour or two, you're just like, please work. I'm not mad anymore. You know, please just start working. And eventually you always find an answer. It always just happens. But with this, let's see if we can get it to... Well, failed to create session. Okay, so... Okay, so this is not good. We're still getting errors. Okay, let's see. It's not even creating the session now. Is that right? I don't know why connecting the assistant so hard. Every other API, it just does it. But for some reason, there's just something about the OpenAI assistants, even ChatGPT struggling with. You know, let's see what it says. The house field was tripping the insert because that column doesn't exist in your current game session. Oh, yeah, of course not. I removed it from the column list and instead embedded the chosen house inside the JS state object. So the schema change is required. Grab the updated API route. Okay. Wait. Okay, so it's fixing it. Update the table in Supabase. Kind of reads like I do. Chosen house inside the JSON state. No, with a current. Okay, so let's grab this. Let's grab it all again, just in case. So we'll go to utils, copy and paste it in there. Yeah, that also wasn't an instruction. I didn't actually want it to do the house that way, but I don't know, for whatever reason it did. And this one is session, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, session route. Okay. And then we'll do turn route. Okay. Okay. Now, deploy again. How many iterations? 16. Okay. Not a crazy amount if this actually works here anytime soon. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. The house value is stored inside the JSON state field, so the table schema can say exactly as is. Only if you prefer it as is. I really don't care. Okay, so yeah, I don't even think the house should even have been involved in that. I really should have done create new game because, to be honest with you, it should be part of the conversation. It shouldn't just be something that should be passed to the assistant. That actually doesn't make any sense, and it kind of has me a little bit worried now that I'm thinking about it. Whoop. Fix with BO. There's some kind of error. Can we just the house creation at the beginning entirely? Let's just do that. That seems so unnecessary. I think it's causing more problems. I really don't like that functionality anyway. That should be something that you do throughout the game. I mean, it seems like the utils all stayed the same, so I'm not going to even change that. Look at that. It's just editing pieces. Interesting. A session. And then we'll go to this one as well. Turn. Okay. Okay. Deploy changes. Let's see if they fixed, if maybe there's another build error. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. So far, we're about 30 more minutes in. A little bit longer than I initially anticipated, but that happens sometimes. All right. Okay. All right, deployment complete. Perfect. So let's refresh. Clear this out. Start a new game. Okay. Move the house UI. Okay. Use the house. See, it even knows it doesn't use the house at all. That's the interesting thing. So the code that ChatGPT is having me copy and paste in, essentially, can be read and understood by VO immediately. So VO isn't just using its own history to know what's going on. You can copy and paste your own code in, and it sees it right away. Okay, perfect. So let's publish. And then we'll refresh once it's ready to go. There's no house, so hopefully it will work. I've said that 3 or 4 times now. You never know with coding. That's just how it goes. Yeah, especially when you're not the one writing the code, or maybe less so. I don't have as many general errors as when I was coding. When I was coding, I don't have all this crazy knowledge of the docs of every single thing on the internet. All right. Let's see. While it's doing that. All right, finished deploying. Let's refresh. Clear this. Start a new adventure. Okay. Well, let's try VO. Okay. Getting this error. And the response. So here's my payload. And also here are my headers. I don't even think it necessarily needs that, but okay, error message failed to execute with 5.0. PI point of this session. The crazy thing is I've got this working for another app that I did. Insert error with Supabase session with false. Insert. Oh, missing call. I have game sessions. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what chat says. Well, yeah, I mean, I have game sessions in here clearly. So that's not the problem. Incorrect column types. The data type of column in Supabase might not match what you're sending. Wait a second. Do I even have these columns? State, turn index. Yep. Turn index is an integer. And then open thread ID. OpenAI thread ID is text. Column that doesn't show null values must be received null or undefined. Well, let's see what this says. Okay. Inside the insert call, nothing reaches OpenAI. Insert error coming back from Supabase is what triggers the. As row level security turned on, you haven't added a policy that allows regular. Wait a second. So I can just get rid of the policy. Man, these policy things drive me nuts. So let me see how to even get to the well, you know. So there's basically these policies on each table that just causes so many problems. And I think I might just turn it off. Quick test. Table editor game session and verify the new policy is enabled. In the dashboard, start click new adventure. You should now get 200. Check the table. There should be a new row. Okay, let me see. Add a RLS policy. I think I can just copy and paste that whole thing. Let me see. There we go. Let's see if this works. Let's go to SQL. Yeah, these stupid policies. A lot of times I've had to turn it off entirely. That's how I fixed it the last time, I think. But, all right, let's see if this works. So, policy is on, meaning we should just be able to get it to work now. I knew it wasn't going to work. I just knew deep down. Okay. Policy didn't fix it. How do I turn off the RLS policy? I figured how to do that. Just want to turn it off entirely because it seems to be causing so many problems. There we go. Again, I don't need like super security. I'm not selling this to anybody. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if this fixed it. No, it still did not fix it. Okay. Let me see if there's anything in the console that might be indicating what's going on. No. This is just crazy. You know, it's the same thing basically. Okay. Yeah, it's just stuck now. Boy, that really stinks because normally it should just go smoothly. I mean, I'm really starting to question whether or not I should do these assistants at all and maybe just do something else because it's so easy to connect directly to OpenAI. It's so difficult to get the assistants to work. Maybe I could connect to a project. You know, I'm wondering if maybe that's what I'll do. Removes role level checks. It doesn't give the client role permissions. Right. All right. If you're calling API with the anon key, grant to anon instead or both roles. This is so annoying. I don't want to use this RLS thing. This is the only thing that drives me nuts about Supabase is this weird RLS rules. Maybe somebody could explain what I'm not understanding. But it just seems like such a crazy thing to have when it's like, why do I have to keep building out security for this? It should just be already built in. Okay, so I'll just say, how do I do this? Yeah, I'm really tempted to actually stop entirely and just switch everything over to a project. Front end is using the anon key. Okay. Run. Okay. Front end is using the authentication key. Wait, I'm not. Wait a second. Which one is it using? If you're not sure, oh, grant both. Sure, whatever. Just, yeah, that's fine. Just like, okay. Okay. Let's try one more time. Now it's not even creating it. So that's the annoying thing is like, look, guys, you did something like, it did something wrong. No, okay, so, okay. Okay. Okay, so this is working before when it created a session, but had issues with creating the thread. Now, I tried all of this, but it's strange that it doesn't create a session anymore. The fix above did not work. You need to review more files to figure this out. And I'm going to go back to just letting VO try to solve this one here, because this is, again, this is just very, very strange that it's getting stuck on this. So let's just let VO do it. It has access to all the code. I was really hoping, I mean, it does seem like chat kind of figured it out a little bit, but it figured out that there were 3 threads, which was good to know, which VO didn't seem to realize, which is really strange that VO didn't realize that. But again, VO gets stuck on weird things. Just like it gets stuck with routes. Let's see what VO says. Supabase insert operation within your route is failing. Relevant code block. Wait a second. I don't have a slot name. Is that what it's saying? I don't think I have a slot name. Oh, I do have a slot name. Okay, so we updated it to include the slot name. The new files added are for handling existing terms and resolving thread IDs. Wait. Okay, so I see. It needs to like update. It's kind of thinking ahead. I don't really need to do that. You check is the Vercel function logs. The console error Supabase insert option line will print the actual error. Here's the updated with slight minimal select clause for the insert and more detailed comments. To fix this, you must trigger the error again by creating a new session. Okay, so we're going to deploy this. Go to your Vercel projects function logs. Find the logs. Jeez. Okay. Let's see if we could do that. Vercel projects function logs. Okay, this one. Problem is a lot of times, yeah, these are the logs. Okay. Look for the API session Supabase insert error. Yep, right here. Got it. The object printed immediately after the... Okay, so let me pull it in here so you can see. The object printed immediately after this log is the insert error from Supabase. Because they keep trying with assisted thread ID. I believe, oh jeez. We're using, what's it called? Open thread ID. I gotta get more credits. Sure. I do this. I haven't had to do this for quite a while, so I don't feel too bad about that. Okay. Okay, so it's just that over and over and over again. So for some reason, okay, hopefully this will just fix it everywhere. Okay. So it was in VO. Chat fixed some of it, but again, that's the problem with Chat not having all of the files. It's kind of the issue with doing this. A lot of times when I fix files, I like to just do one at a time, ideally. Okay, so let's look at the routes. You know what? Let's just go and take a look. Session route. OpenAI. OpenAI thread. Let's see if it's still doing the right thing or not. OpenAI thread ID is the thread ID. There you go. I think you're pulling it in correctly. Okay. Well, this is also good too. So you can just go to these logs and check out what's going on when it's incorrect, and it will tell you if it's actually VO or not. And again, Vercel owns VO. I'm not sure if Vercel owns Supabase. Yep. So that's probably why I guess they work so well together. Okay. Oh, it published it. Okay. Refresh. Cancel. Please at least give me a new error. You can do that. Come on now. Different error, or no error at all would be ideal. It's still fetching. God. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Undefined expected ID that begins with thread. Okay. I think this was the same error we got before. Okay. This error. in the response. Okay. Thread ID undefined, expected an ID that began with thread. Okay. This was the original problem. The error when interacting with existing sessions, which would go through. Let's trace the logic. This fetches a session including all potential thread columns. Extract the thread ID. Here, get the thread ID is called with a session. Create null of paid session. Check thread ID. Yeah. Is that for specific session ID you are trying to play, the row in your game session table that session ID must have null or be missing. No, wait. Why are you using different? Okay, maybe it's fine. I don't know. Let's add more specific logging. Okay, sure. Sure. Check your Vercel function log very carefully. Let's go and see what it says. Yeah, thread ID does not exist, so. Again, no, wait, was this the same one? Was this the one that we just got? No. No. Let's refresh. Processing turn of the assistant. Expect an ID that begins with thread. I might copy and paste all that in, but let's go and see what VO can do. Look at the log value for thread ID from session. Okay, so let's see what it says in the console. We're good here. It is creating it at least. Let's create another one. The console, I don't know why it's not adding everything to the console. Okay, so I'll say this is what's in the console. No additional errors present. And then we're going to refresh this. And we're just going to grab this whole thing. Is there a way for me to just like copy this entire thing? That'd be fantastic. Let's see if this helps. I would think this would help because this is VO. You would think, Vercel would be able to solve it. This error is happening inside the post session route, specifically when it calls process turn with assistant. Wait a second. Why am I... Okay. So I see what's going on. Yeah, it added steps. So you got to be really, really careful here because it's really good at actually having some intuition and knowing what I want, but it's doing something really funny here where it's adding in all of these turns. And it's like, well, the AI does the turns. You don't need a turn handler because I'm going to be talking to it. So I'm so confused, but let's see. I just want to do a thread, guys. I don't care about the turns. Okay, hold on. We need the turns in the code. The OpenAI assistant will be tracking the turns. Anywhere, ever. Can we just delete all references to it? Code. Because, yeah, I think there's something really weird going on. Yeah, see, there's maintaining full context. So why would I possibly store it, Doesn't really make a ton of sense. That the thread itself holds the history. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't need that. Okay, so we're getting rid of this whole turn index because there's absolutely no reason. It didn't have that. Okay, well, already deleted it in Supabase table. In the front end. We'll do that now. Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for it. So I guess they just thought it'd be useful, but in fact, let me see real quick. So under table, we have slot name, state, even things like state, like maybe fine. That's fine. I guess we could kept turns in there, but again, I just want to get it talking. You know, I don't care about anything else. So I think it's just causing some real problems. Retry it, something happened. Yeah, so I just want to get it connected. That's the funny thing. A lot of times when you do something really straightforward and simple, it'll do it right away. It doesn't have like a problem. Like if you just give it like connect to this OpenAI API and do that, and then later you can add everything else in. But a lot of times it'll get confused if you go too big right now. That's the real downside to having AI code for you at this moment is too much complexity and it gets confused. And that happens with people too. I mean, you know, it can get real crazy when you're coding really big projects. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm so worried that they added all this stuff in. I'm so worried that I need to like restart everything. I'm real tempted to honestly just not have a login, not have any of this, and just say, look, I just want to connect to an assistant. If you know what, if this doesn't work, I'm just going to do that real fast. It's just say, look, this is my assistant. Let me just create a project so I can just talk to the assistant that I created. That's all I want to do is just have a chat where I can talk to the assistant back and forth. Because it seems to be getting really, really stuck. And whenever you get stuck with VO, sometimes you just have to restart. And that just happens. Again, that's actually something I used to tell my coding students too, especially when they were first getting started with coding, is sometimes you're deep into a project and something breaks and you can't figure out what's broken. You keep trying to add and add and add. And then before long, you can't fix it. You've kind of done too many crazy things and you just need to revert all the way back to where you were and start all over again. Which again is very common in coding. So it shouldn't be surprising at all that this is the case when doing it with AI. Let's see. I have a feeling it's not going to work and I'm just going to start all over again. Yeah, okay, so it's not working. Okay, so it's doing the same thing, isn't it? It's giving me the same exact error. This occurred during the initial process. Thread ID was likely invalid. Okay, you know what? Let's give it another try. In the response, and let's look at this and we'll refresh. It does seem like it's starting to get there. So I am real tempted to start over though. I might just start a brand new one. And then we'll go with full Vercel logs. Okay. indeed happening with your post API session route during the call. Session API which passes through at this point looks like the flow. I might just start a whole new one because this is driving me a little crazy. See, I don't like navigate to table editor, game session table. Look at the column names. What is the exact spelling in case of the column intended to store the OpenAI? Yeah, it's OpenAI. No, that's it. OpenAI thread ID. Well, they think it's a column name mismatch, but it's OpenAI thread ID. It is identical. Am I missing something? OpenAI underscore thread underscore ID. Would be undefined after successful insert of thread. Dang it, Beck. You know what? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a whole nother one, and we're going to just change this up quite a bit. We're going to do a new chat, and okay. Create the front end for a chat app that connects with OpenAI assistant I've created. Is the assistant ID. All I want to do is have a back and forth conversation. Okay? With the AI. No logging in or saving data or anything like that. Super simple chat. Now I'm going to need a few things, so I want to move it over because I'm going to be saving some environmental variables. And that's fine. But let's see if I can just do a super simple chat, because this has been driving me nuts because the other APIs are very quick to get connected. And for some reason, the assistant just struggles. And I don't know if it's some kind of like error in VO's knowledge base. Again, it just seems to have these problems. So, okay, here we go. So we need the OpenAI API key. So I'm just going to start doing that right now. Let's get up. It's got to build it out first. Hopefully it will not take too long because, again, I said super duper simple. Very good. Super simple. That's what I wanted. Okay. Now let me do the environmental variables. And so I need three things here. Let me just save it here in Notepad. Okay, so I just need those two things. Okay. So the assistant ID and the OpenAI API key, which I should be able to grab from here. The assistant ID isn't even here. Huh. I wonder if that's what's going on. Supabase, OpenAI. Okay. ID. I must have just hard-coded it. So that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to deploy this project. So now I have this project. Super duper uber simple. I mean, this is as simple as it gets. It's great. Super simple. It's deploying. Let's see if this works. Okay, yep, it's hard-coded. Okay, so let's just build it around this and see what happens. And yeah, I already have the variables in here. Now, if this doesn't work, something else is going on. Something's going on with being able to connect to OpenAI, which has cost quite a bit of time, considering it's been 3 hours now working on this project. But let's see what happens. Let's visit it. Let's visit and see. Hi. Wait. Let me. Oh. Wait a second. Okay. Well, it sent the request. Is it going to return the request? Is it going to... That is not the assistant. Okay, so if I say hi to this one, what does it do? Oh, okay. Let's see. Play the game. Let's see. Is this one not saved anymore? Oh, it is. Okay, unfortunately, it did save it. Okay. This is working, okay? So what I'm going to do is... This is what I'm going to do. Okay. Okay. This is so nuts. Something messed up. Man, it's working. This is actually returning all of the data. It's just not returning it. Okay. Oh my goodness. I like this project. I don't think I like it enough to keep going. It's already like 6:55. This is working here. It's not working there. Let's... Okay. Okay. Working in another... I have assistant actually perfectly in another VO project, but it's super simple. No login, no database. Here are the files. Maybe this could shed some light on the issue. Now maybe I'm missing something. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, is that I am just missing something really obvious here. Let's see what it says, because, you know, this is really nuts. It got it right away. So what is it about having a login that's causing problems with talking to OpenAI? Something is causing problems. Can I not talk to OpenAI with a logged in? I mean, that's kind of nuts, but I don't know. Why does it work so easily without these things? Yeah, it's part of the normal workflow. Okay, so then... Very bright light. User hook works perfectly. The key difference is how the thread ID is managed. Simple working or project approach. The assistant hook is the brain of the client when the first message is sent. Server-side logic. The API route creates a new thread and immediately returns this thread to the use assistant hook. Continuous conversation. For every subsequent... Let's not save the thread. Okay? Well... is almost certainly interaction with the Supabase within a single API call is getting lost between writing in the database and reading it back. But why? row level security. You might have an RLS policy on your game session table that allows you to insert a row. The select policy might not be correctly configured to allow them to read back the OpenAI thread. In the column name. Okay. I think it's this one. Let's fix the flow. Instead of trying to read the thread back from the database, we can just use the variable we already have in memory when we create it. Good. Good. That's better. Okay, let's see how this works. Whee! Come on, don't get my hopes up. I think they're getting my hopes up. You know, AI is always way too positive. They're always so positive. I'm very positive. So, you know, we're just being real positive here, thinking this is all working. But maybe it won't. Maybe it will. I don't know. It was working. I got it working instantly. That's crazy. So you can just do this automatically connection right away. Okay, I'll keep the logs. Let's make it happen. Come on, let's do it. Okay, let's refresh and see if this works. Please work. Please work. I mean, at this point, I would probably just build out from what I just created, but I really don't want to. Okay. You know, it just gets stuck in loops, you know, so I don't know, maybe I'll build it on my free time. I kind of want to work on something else, but now at least I know next time. I think I'm going to completely start with this connection. I think if I'm using an OpenAI assistant, I need to start and then build around it and then say, okay, we're going to do you know, God, that's so frustrating though, because I want it to actually work entirely, but it just seems I need to figure out what's going on. How interesting. Okay. Okay, hold on. How do I get rid of the RLS entirely for a table? Because if that's what's happening and it's just that, this is going to be really, really frustrating. Yeah, I just want to disable it entirely. Yeah, 100%. Let's do it. Let's see. Okay. So, good. Let's just make sure it's going to be completely turned off. Stop the RLS engine from the table entirely. No policies evaluated. Okay, good. Let's delete all of these. Oh, now it's not even letting me delete sessions. Well, am I going to be able to create it? Wait a second. Okay, so I need... Okay. Obviously, this isn't going to work if it's not letting me delete the session. What is going on with RLS? Okay. Okay. All right, I've been working on this for too long, guys. I'm stopping here. This stinks. I might just pick it up from the project that I actually have working now, which is this very simple one. Is it just OpenAI chat front end? Is that it? I might just start over. I might just say, okay, I have the chat working. Now I want login. Now I want to save information. Because, man, that kind of stinks. It's not super fun. Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll pick this up and just start again. I'm not sure. I'll play around and decide. But all right. Yeah, I guess. I wish I don't even feel like saying subscribe for more with this utter failure here. But if you want to subscribe for more and kind of see what it's like actually being a dev, this is a good place to do it, especially if you're coding for something like this with AI. It just seems to trip itself up a little bit. But again, you're just restarting sometimes, and that happens. It's not the worst thing in the world, you know. The worst thing in the world is not having AI, not being able to do any of this at all, and me taking weeks or months to try to build something like this out. So yeah,